Hello, dear students. This is Dr. Ujjwal UP, Assistant Professor, Department of Humanities and Science, KG Reddy College of Engineering. So today we will discuss about lasers. So the word laser is acronym for light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Laser means light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So this Albert Einstein in 1917, we know that in 1917 first time he theoretically postulated this one, theoretically proved that the process of stimulated emission must exist. But in 1954, a group of scientists headed by Charles H. Townes operated the microwave device for microwave amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, that is maser. First time in 1954 they invented the maser. So in 1960, T.H. Maiman of the uh, Hughes Research Laboratory first achieved the laser action at optical frequency in a ruby laser. So since 1960, the development of laser has been rapidly it's growing, and though it was called an invention in search of an application, at the time of its invention, the variety of lasers have been developed afterwards, and the wealth of laser application developed since 1960 is enormous. New applications are being found even now almost every day. So this is the laser is a device that emits light through process of optical amplification based on stimulated emission of radiation. As in the acronym itself, or laser acronym itself, um, it is clear that a laser is result of stimulated emission of radiation. So based on stimulated emission of electromagnetic radiation, the term laser originated as acronym light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. And the stimulated emission was first used by the Townes and Shalvov in USA and Bozov and Prokhorov in USSR, Russia, then USSR. Maiman demonstrated the first laser in 1960, as we have just now discussed. Now, mechanism of light emission. Surrounding the emission of light is the result of absorption. First, because mechanism of light emission, in that how light is absorbed. First, absorption. If the photon of energy h mu e12, that is e2 minus e1, that is difference between excited energy level and ground level. In this ground level or lower level is e1. If a photon collides having energy, this one collides with an atom present in the ground state, that is energy having e1, then the atom completely absorbs the incident photon energy, that is incident photon energy h mu 12, and makes transition to the excited state E2. Higher level energy is E2. So in the diagram you can see this is before absorption, and this yellow circle is then before absorption. This is the ground level, this is excited level is shown in red. After if the photon having energy h mu incident on the system of atoms, after absorption you can see this yellow circle was shown at the excited level, that is red. So this is the first absorption, then it will stay in the excited level for some time, and then it will decay spontaneously to the back to the ground state. This is the absorption, first phenomena. Now we'll see what is the uh, emission. There are two types of emission, because this is the first absorption. Only after absorption of an adequate photon energy, atom can excite. So then emission, spontaneous emission. We will see what is spontaneous emission. Atom initially present in the excited state makes transition voluntarily on its own without any aid of external stimulus or an agency to the ground state, and emits a photon of energy. So for let us see what happens when radiation interacts with the matter. So here first absorption takes place, as we have seen already, and And then after stimulation, as we have discussed, two types of stimulation: spontaneous and stimulated emission. So atom initially present in the excited state makes transition voluntarily on its own, with or without aid of in case of if it is without aid of external stimulus or agency to the ground state emits the photon of energy, that is E2 minus E1. Difference of energy will be emitted in the form of photon. The period of stay of electron or atom, in fact it is the atom which is there. So atom also we can call, or electron in the excited state, it is called its lifetime. This process of emission of light is called spontaneous emission, E1 and E2. After this will come to the ground level on its own. That is called spontaneous. Spontaneous means on its own, if it comes to the ground state, we call it spontaneous. Now stimulated emission. Photon having energy h mu 1 2, that is E2 minus E1, impinges on an atom present in the excited state, and the atom is stimulated to make transition to the ground state. This gives off a photon of energy h mu 1 2. Emitted photon is in phase with incident photon. These are coherent. This type of emission is known as stimulated emission. Coherent means the wave. Coherent means same wavelength and constant phase difference. This is called stimulated emission of radiation. See here, this yellow dot is already in the excited state. So when this is hit by photon, this will be de-excised to the ground state. This is called stimulated. Unlike in spontaneous case, this is stimulated means with the help of external stimuli. Now we will see one activity. What is the difference, dear students? Please tell me what is the difference between spontaneous and stimulated emission. Just now we have discussed. Take your time and please explain. बस कर दो, दो वीडियो कर दो. इसके साथ वीडियो अपलोड बस 5 2. Okay students, we will see now what is the difference between spontaneous and stimulated emission. So here, spontaneous emission of radiation, it is a polychromatic radiation, and whereas stimulated case, it is monochromatic radiation. Polychromatic means it contains many wavelength, polywavelength. Chromatic means color. So spontaneous emission has less intensity because its energy is distributed in various among various wavelength. मुझे भी भेजो. It has, and whereas stimulated emission has high intensity. So spontaneous emission has less directionality and more angular spread during propagation, whereas stimulated emission of radiation has high directionality and less angular spread during propagation. Spontaneous emission is spatially and temporally incoherent radiation. Spatially and temporally incoherent radiation means spatial spread and temporal means longitudinally they are incoherent. So whereas stimulated emission is spatially, here regret for this spelling mistake, it should be T, spatially and temporally coherent. That is also called longitudinal and transverse coherence also. So in spontaneous case, emission light is not amplified. In stimulated emission, since electrons uh, hit to neighboring electrons, multiplication of photons takes place. So light is amplified, just like a photomultiplier tube. In spontaneous emission takes place when excited atoms makes transition to the lower energy level voluntarily without any external stimulation. Just now we have seen. In stimulated emission in case what happens, it takes place when the photon of energy equal to h mu 1 to E2 minus E1 stimulates an excited atom to make transition to lower energy level. In a single downward transition, in case of spontaneous emission, spontaneous results in the emission of one photon. But in case of stimulated emission in single downward transition, stimulated emission results in emission of two photons, because one is incoming photons, that is stimulating photon, and the other one is stimulated by photon. So example for spontaneous emission is light from an ordinary electric bulb, incandescent light, or light from LED also. In case of example of stimulated emission, light from the laser source, ruby lasers, carbon dioxide laser, and ammonia, we use nitrogen dioxide, ruby laser, carbon dioxide laser, and helium neon laser particularly. So these are example of stimulated emission laser sources. So with this we will end this laser topic. Next class we will see in detail the Einstein equation or Einstein coefficient for this upward and downward transition. Thank you.